it is what it is. Before we, get too deep into that, let's go ahead and hit the intro. And one more time for good measures, because I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. So, okay, we got that out of the way. Um, so, like I was saying, LA Laker fans, our worst nightmares were realized yesterday when the King LeBron James went down with the ankle injury in the second quarter of yesterday's game versus the Atlanta Hawks. Um, I felt when I saw it, okay, LeBron's been here with the Lakers for a few years, and we've seen him roll ankles, several times, over his this is his third season with the Lakers. We've seen him roll ankles several times, and every time that I can remember, that he's always shook it off, stayed in the game. He'll bend over, lace up his shoes a little bit extra tight, and he'll keep it pushing. Um, this particular injury yesterday, man, he went down and he was driving in pain. And there's no fans at Staples Center, so you can hear almost anything, almost everything on the court. And LeBron James was howling pretty loud. I'm not going to say other derogatory things about him like other people saying, but the man was definitely in pain. Okay, so from that point right there, I pretty much figured that he was really hurt. And then when we saw the up close pictures of the injury, the rolled ankle was a little bit different than most times. Most of the time, the ankle rolled outward. This one rolled inward, and I just thought this situation. I felt this situation. Uh, I just felt it was going to be a little bit different. Now, one of the things there's a lot of silly people, man, on the internet, and there's people on the internet alluding that he's faking the injury. He's faking the injury because he knows the Lakers didn't have a chance to beat the Brooklyn Nets. And there's people saying that if he was really hurt, why did he check himself out, then check himself back in the game to make that 3-pointer to extend his 10 game, 10 points a game streak to a couple hundred games or whatever the hell it is. Something stupid like that. First of all, he didn't never check himself out the game. The Lakers called timeout, whatever. He tried to get himself together. He got himself together, and he stayed in the game. He never checked out. And, the Lakers got possession of the ball. It was a steal or something. They threw it over to LeBron. He happened to be standing in the corner. And basically, he made a one-legged 3-pointer. He ran down the court on defense and then quickly figured out that this injury was different and he couldn't play on it. And he called timeout. Took himself out the game. On his way out of the arena, off the floor rather, knocked over a couple chairs. I saw that and I said, okay, LeBron is mad, and he's mad because he knows he's really hurt. And if this is the second time it's happened to him really in his career, second time with the Lakers, and LeBron is so in tune with his body, he knows when he's really hurt. And I've analyzed the videos of this situation and when he went down with the groin and subsequent interviews after the fact on both occasions or whatever, or his words. In this case, yesterday he put out an announcement on Twitter. I just listened and analyzed to what he says, and LeBron, of course, he's mad, he's upset, but there's a certain amount of fear in him, as well, because this is just something he's not accustomed to, is being hurt and being unavailable. But anyway, you people out there, trying to say that he's not hurt, that he's faking, and all these kind of things. You guys really need to get your head checked. You know, you really need to get your head checked. Just check and see is this signal still good. But yeah, you guys really need to get your head checked. Yo, yo, yo. Okay, I don't know if I don't know if we still in there, but I'm gonna keep on going. Anyway, you clowns talking about LeBron James is not really hurt or whatever the case may be, and that he's faking an injury, all this kind of stuff, and he wanted to keep his streak going. Just silliness. I'm not even going to entertain those uh, those silly comments. But well, what I will talk about, and what I do want to talk about is LeBron James and LA Lakers, specifically LA Lakers. Where do they go from here? Now, um, the easiest thing to do, well, is for the Lakers for organization, for Rob Pelinka in particular, since he's running this joint. The easiest thing for him to do would be just play it cool, play it safe, uh, and wait for LeBron and AD to come back from injury. A high ankle sprain, a lot of people saying, "Oh, he'll be back in a couple of weeks." Man, I really don't think so. I don't think he would have took the time out to go through all this and make that tweet and all that kind of stuff and come out and say, "I'm hurt," if he was going to be back in a couple of weeks. He would have said, "Oh, he would have said, hey, we're good to go. We evaluate the ankle or whatever. I'm gonna be back in a couple of weeks or whatever, whatever. And we're gonna come back and try to get this chip." This is what he would have said. But the fact of the matter is, it's a high ankle sprain. Doing my research, everything I'm hearing is people are saying 6 to 8 weeks. So uh, I really don't expect to see LeBron James back anytime. Uh, back on the court for the LA Lakers. So that brings us to our topic, and we're gonna jump on this, and then we're gonna get out of here because, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. Um, what do the Lakers do? So, do they take the easy route and just use what we have, try to fill in, try to hang on, and try not to totally fall out of playoff contention, and you know, and just roll with what we have, or do we does Rob Pelinka try to make a splash and try to make a trade to get the Lakers some more firepower in here? Now, that brings us to the thumbnail, to the title, Zach Lavine. Now, we did a story on this a couple months ago. The Rob Pelinka was kicking the tires on Zach Lavine, and at that time, the Bulls were pretty optimistic about their season, and they were not looking to move off of Zach Lavine at that point. So, but now the situation is a little bit different. Um, the Bulls, they showed improvement, but they're not a very good defensive team at all. And they're certainly, Kobe White and Zach Lavine, your backcourt, that just is never going to blossom into anything, significant, specifically defensively speaking. But Zach Lavine can score like hell. So the Lakers need to make uh, a move and get Zach Lavine ASAP out of Chicago. Now, and to try to get some more scoring punch in here and try to keep the Lakers relevant to their two stars return. Um, I know a lot of people were talking about Victor Oladipo, and Victor Oladipo is up here, online showing pictures of himself in a Laker jersey and all these kind of things. I'm not really interested in Victor Oladipo. He's injury prone as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think he's really going to move the needle. Now, who the Lakers, who is attainable? Really, to me, one player who's attainable is Zach Lavine. I mean, the Lakers, to Rob's credit, he has signed, some contracts. Gave KCP a nice extension, gave Kyle Kuzma a nice extension, and you know those are two contracts that are easily tradable. And if you package it with other players, might have to be a three-team deal. But if you can package KCP and maybe Alex Caruso or THT and a first round pick. Now the Lakers don't have actually a first round pick that they can trade to 2017. Excuse me, 2027. So, but anyhow, if you could throw a package like that together and get Zach Lavine, you got to do it. Even if it's KCP, THT, in a first round pick, and then if you move some players from a third team, you know, uh, that's something you have to strongly look at. Honestly, you guys know I'm a Laker fan. I keep it 100, and honestly, the Lakers are going to need more firepower because I don't expect to see LeBron James until, uh, as of I think yesterday, the playoffs don't start to almost exactly 60 calendar days from yesterday. I think it turned out to be 57, so that's 2 months. Me personally, I don't expect to see LeBron James back 100% before then. And really, if he's not 100%, I don't need to. I don't see the need for him to play. I don't see the need for him to come back this season because he's still under contract. Now, he signed an extension over the offseason, so did Anthony Davis. And so now they're they're under contract for, multiple years. So shit, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, so those guys are going to be around for a number of years. Neither one of them are going to get traded. So the guys who are likely to be traded are going to be KCP, Wesley Matthews, Marcus Hall, THT, Alex Caruso, Wesley Matthews. Those are the guys who the Lakers pretty much have to work with. And maybe THT. Now, hold on. If somebody wants to jump in, let me see if I can drop the link in there. Hold on a minute, guys. Let's see. See if I can drop the link in the chat. Where is it at? Where is it at? There we go. Let me drop the link in the chat. There we go. So if anybody wants to jump on, if you're familiar with StreamYard, go ahead and hit the link in the chat, and then I'll add you and we can chop it up. Like I said, it's going to be just a quick broadcast. I'm just trying stuff out. But anyway, so that I think that's what the Lakers will be looking at, man. They're either going to take the safe route, and Rob will just, like he does, take the safe route. The Lakers are a deep team, but they are playing in the Western Conference. That is the tougher conference of the two. And, it's going to be tough. And then on top of that, the NBA, they didn't do the Lakers any favors with this schedule that they have in the second half of the season. It was going to be hard, if the Lakers were full strength. The Lakers have a lot of back-to-back games in the second half of this schedule, a lot. So I don't think they have the most, but I think they're tied for the second most back-to-backs in the second half of the season. So, and now with LeBron James being out indefinitely and Anthony Davis who knows when he's coming back. I suspect he'll be back before LeBron. Anyway, the Lakers are just severely, undermanned, and you know, it's going to be a struggle. And like I said, teams are not going to take it easy on the Lakers at all. Uh, Teams are going to take great joy in trying to, beat the hell out of the defending champions. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Lakers. You know, um, yesterday, yesterday was not an easy day for Laker fans. Man, I was kind of bothered the rest of the day. Spent most of the day at work, but I was just bothered. I was just pretty much bothered the whole, rest of the evening and this morning. But it is what it is, and that's why I always say, um, when it comes to this game, basketball, and us as basketball fans, Laker fans specifically, we only really care about one thing, and uh, and that's winning championships. And so, hey man, we got our championship last season. We got in there. People can say what they want to say, but the bottom line is the Lakers won the championship and they got it, and good. Because as we can see in today's basketball landscape, one injury, has massive implications. And especially if it just happens to be your team, the one you're interested in, and then if it happens to be in this case, the world champion Los Angeles Lakers, and the injury happens to their best player, arguably the best player in the NBA, like I said, this injury has massive implications, guys. Hold on a second. Let me get some water. Damn, I've been talking shit a lot. Anyhow, um, yeah, the injury has massive implications, man. And another thing they have to consider is LeBron's age. At 36, we all know, excuse me, we all know he's a freak of nature and all that kind of stuff. But at 36, man, you just have to take things easy, and LeBron has to be allowed, to get his proper rest. And the last thing we want to see, the very last thing we want to see is for him to come back early and then, for something tragic to happen. And then for his career to be prematurely ended over trying to rush and get back, you know, trying to chase something this season. When other than that, all indications are that LeBron is still perfectly healthy, and based on his play this season, he can still go at a high level, maybe another 2 years. Based on what I've seen, I think he can go for another 2 years. I think he can go. I'm not for sure if he signed for another 3 years or 2 years or whatever it is. I think it's three. Uh, Based upon what I've seen from him this season, he can still go. For another to finish out that contract. And I always felt that what was going to end LeBron's run, what was going to end LeBron's injury, I felt it would be an injury. I don't think he's going to just continue playing and he's just going to fall off and become garbage, trash. I never felt like that was going to be the end for him. I felt that an injury, a severe injury, was just going to, uh, you know, deter him. And then at one point, he would just be like, look, I'm tired of it. And he'll just call it quits because he just doesn't seem like a player that's just going to lose it. And he's just going to all over, become trash and washed up. It just don't look like that's just going to happen. So, and like I said, if the Lakers decide, or if he decides to try to come back too early, and God forbid he re-aggravates or makes that injury even worse, that is something, like I said, that could really change the course of history as far as his career. And he still has much more to play for besides this year. And let's be honest with you. Let's be frank with you. Uh, do you really trust Anthony Davis, given his injury history? Laker fans, I mean, do we really want AD to come back this season? I mean, I want him to come back, man. But if there's any kind of inkling of that this injury with his could get worse, or if he tears Achilles or something like that, man, it is over for the Lakers. Over for him because he doesn't really strike me as a player that's going to go above and beyond to get back. No disrespect, and it's all love with AD, man. But to me, AD at this point, to me, he just doesn't have that mind state just yet. Might be wrong. I might be wrong, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, um, that's it, guys. I think I'm gonna cut this a little bit short. Like I said before, the Lakers they need to get Zach Levine ASAP, quick, in a hurry, or they just might very well plummet in the standings. The good thing about it is they, the good thing with the new format for the playoffs, they don't have to put the kind of pressure on themselves to finish in the top 8. All they need to do is get in the top 10, and then if need be, the Lakers, if they're back at full strength, even if they're the 10 seed, they could very easily get in and then make some noise. But that's worst case scenario. You definitely don't want to be in that kind of position, if you're the Lakers, and that's not what we're looking for. But anyway, like I said, guys, I'm about to wrap this up. I'm going to hit the outro. Uh, this is the first time we're going live via StreamYard. I think it was a success. I'll go back and listen to it and look at the video and see how everything went production wise. But I think it was a success. We'll see. Anyway, this is your boy, AC, LA Sports Live. Like I always say, like, comment, share, subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. And like I always say, I will rap with y'all later. Hit the outro.